Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history. The Washington quarter dollar, a coin that has not only represented the United States for generations but also captured the hearts of collectors across the world. This coin, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, became an instant symbol of American pride and a collector's favorite over the decades. The Washington quarter was initially designed as a commemorative piece, but its design was so widely admired that it replaced the standing Liberty quarter permanently that same year. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a left-facing portrait of George Washington with the inscriptions "Liberty" above his head, "In God We Trust" to the left, and the year of minting below. On the reverse side, we see a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend the nation, with olive branches beneath it representing peace, a perfect balance of power and harmony. The words "United States of America" and "E pluribus unum" encircle the top, while "quarter dollar" is proudly inscribed at the bottom. The Washington quarter began its journey in 1932 and has undergone several changes in metal composition, design, and minting over the decades. From 1932 to 1964, these quarters were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them a bright, lustrous appearance and intrinsic value due to the precious metal content. However, starting in 1965, the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, to combat the rising cost of silver and prevent coin hoarding. This change significantly altered the appearance and sound of the coin, making the pre-1965 silver versions especially valuable to collectors today. The standard diameter of the Washington quarter is 24.3 millimeters with a weight of 6.25 grams for the silver issues and 5.67 grams for the modern clad versions, and its reeded edge contains 119 tiny grooves, a detail loved by numismatists for its precision and authenticity. The 1932 Washington quarter holds special importance not only as the first issue but also because of its key date mint marks, the 1932 D. Denver Mint and 1932 S. San Francisco Mint. These two coins are considered the rarest and most desirable among all Washington quarters, with low mintages of just 436,800 for Denver and 408,000 for San Francisco. In comparison, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 5 million quarters that same year, making the D and S marked pieces true treasures. A 1932 D Washington quarter in mint state condition can sell for over $25,000. While the finest known specimens graded MS-67 or higher have fetched more than $80,000 at major auctions. The 1932 S follows closely behind, with pristine examples also reaching tens of thousands of dollars depending on strike quality and preservation. Collectors often look for sharp details on Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and a strong mint luster to identify high-grade examples. Throughout the 1930s and 1940s, the Washington quarter became a coin of everyday life in the United States, used for everything from grocery purchases to jukeboxes, and yet, within that period, some rare varieties emerged that continue to fascinate collectors today. One such example is the 1934 double-die obverse variety, where the word "In God We Trust" and Washington's eye show visible doubling under magnification. Another is the 1943 S over S repunched mint mark, a subtle but valuable variation created when the mint mark was accidentally punched twice at slightly different angles. These varieties can turn an ordinary silver quarter into a highly sought-after collectible worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade and visibility of the era. Moving into the 1950s, the Washington quarter saw a steady rise in production as the post-war economy boomed. Silver was still used, but the designs began to show slight die wear and minor changes due to increased minting pressure. The 1950 D and 1950 S are among the better-struck coins of the era, while the 1955 D and 1956 D are popular among collectors for their sharp eagle details. The 1960s, however, brought about a major shift. As silver prices rose sharply, people began hoarding coins for their bullion value. By 1964, the U.S. Mint made a crucial decision to remove silver from quarters, leading to the creation of the copper-nickel-clad coin in 1965. Interestingly, some 1965 dated quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets. These are now extremely rare and valuable. A genuine 1965 silver quarter can easily exceed $7,000 in auctions, making it one of the most desirable transitional errors in modern U.S. coinage. In 1975 and 1976, the Washington Quarter underwent another major design change to celebrate America's bicentennial, 200 years of independence. The obverse still featured George Washington, but the reverse was redesigned by Jack L. Ahr, showing a colonial drummer with a torch surrounded by 13 stars, symbolizing the original colonies. All bicentennial quarters were dated 1776 to 1976, and struck in both copper-nickel and 40% silver for collector's sets. These special quarters are extremely popular today, especially the silver-clad versions from proof sets. A perfect PR-70 silver bicentennial quarter has sold for more than $5,000, and error versions such as double die strikes or off-centerpieces can go even higher. The Washington Quarter continued into the modern era, evolving with the 50-state quarters program launched in 1999, followed by the D.C. and U.S. Territory series in 2009, and the America the Beautiful quarters beginning in 2010. However, collectors still hold the pre-1965 silver issues as the heart of the series due to their classic design and tangible value. Among these, certain years like 1940D, 1950S, and 1958 exhibit better strikes and are often found in gem condition, while others like 1937S or 1949D are notably scarcer in higher grades. Some proof issues, such as the 1950, 1951, and 1953 proofs, are prized for their deep mirror surfaces and limited mintages of less than 130,000 each. When it comes to mint errors and varieties, the Washington Quarter series is full of fascinating examples that drive collector enthusiasm. For instance, the 1941 double die obverse, the 1943 P double die reverse, the 1950 D/S over mintmark variety, and the 1956 Type B reverse, where the reverse die originally intended for proof coins was accidentally used for regular circulation strikes. The Type B reverse shows greater spacing between the letters in E pluribus unum and sharper details in the eagle's feathers, making it easy to spot for experienced collectors. These varieties can range from $100 in circulated condition to over $2,000 in mint state. Beyond mint errors, the historical and sentimental value of the Washington Quarter cannot be overstated. For decades, this coin has represented stability, national pride, and artistry in American coinage. It was the first circulating coin to feature a real U.S. president rather than a symbolic figure, setting a precedent for later designs. Over 90 years since its debut, the Washington Quarter remains one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, adapting with time yet retaining its classic essence. As the story of the Washington Quarter dollar moved beyond the silver era, it entered one of the most exciting and transformative chapters in American numismatic history, the introduction of the 50-state quarters program. This groundbreaking series, launched in 1999, revitalized coin collecting for millions of Americans and reintroduced the Washington Quarter to a whole new generation. Authorized by the United States Congress under the 50 States Commemorative Coin Program Act, this initiative aimed to honor each of the 50 U.S. states with a unique reverse design that reflected their history, culture, and identity. Over the next decade, from 1999 through 2008, 5 new quarters were released each year in the order that the states ratified the Constitution or were admitted to the Union. The obverse design continued to feature the familiar portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, but it was slightly modified by William Cousins to modernize its appearance and accommodate the rotating reverse designs. This combination of historical continuity and fresh artistic creativity turned the Washington Quarter into a phenomenon. Suddenly, people who had never paid attention to coins were searching their pocket change, starting collections, and even organizing family challenges to complete all 50 designs. The 50-state quarters program was more than a tribute to the nation's geography. It became a nationwide cultural movement. Each reverse design captured a story unique to its state, from Delaware's image of Caesar Rodney on horseback to California's depiction of naturalist John Muir with Yosemite Valley and a soaring condor. Some of the most iconic and collectible designs include the 2000 New Hampshire Old Man of the Mountain, the 2001 New York coin featuring the Statue of Liberty, and the 2004 Michigan coin showing the Great Lakes. However, among this massive program, certain issues gained fame for their minting errors and rarity, which transformed ordinary coins into treasures. One of the most famous of these is the 2004 D Wisconsin Quarter with the extra leaf variety. 2 distinct versions exist, the extra leaf low and extra leaf high, where an additional leaf appears near the ear of corn due to die gouges during minting. These quarters, originally worth just 25 cents, have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on condition. Another noteworthy modern rarity is the 2005 Minnesota Quarter with the extra tree error, where doubling in the die makes it appear as though there is an extra spruce tree in the design. Collectors hunt for these varieties with excitement because they demonstrate how even in the high-tech modern minting process, unique imperfections still slip through, and that's what keeps the thrill of collecting alive. As the State Quarters program concluded in 2008, it had achieved staggering success. Over 34 billion quarters were produced, and more than 140 million Americans became active participants in collecting them. The program's impact was so profound that it led to follow-up series such as the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters in 2009, featuring designs for D.C., Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands. These coins, though often overlooked, are highly collectible today, especially in uncirculated or proof condition. In 2010, the Washington Quarter continued its legacy through another major series, the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which celebrated 56 national parks and sites across all U.S. states and territories. Each reverse depicted an iconic landscape, monument, or historical site, from Yellowstone National Park to the Grand Canyon, Mount Rushmore, Everglades, Yosemite, and Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. These designs displayed exceptional artistry and detail, appealing to both collectors and nature lovers. Struck until 2021, this program further cemented the Washington Quarter's place as the canvas of American heritage. Among the most valuable America the Beautiful Quarters are the 2019 W and 2020 W quarters minted at the West Point Mint, a modern twist that reignited collector passion. For the first time, the U.S. Mint intentionally released circulation strike quarters with a rare W mint mark to promote coin collecting. Only 2 million of each design were issued, making them the lowest mintage circulation quarters of the modern era. Coins such as the 2019 W Lowell, American Memorial Park, and San Antonio Missions quarters are now prized finds, with uncirculated examples often selling for $100 to $300 and top-graded specimens exceeding $1,000. Speaking of mint marks, the Washington Quarter has been produced at several U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark or P, Denver, D, San Francisco, S, and more recently, West Point, W. Each mint location adds its own legacy to the coin story, with certain years producing remarkably low mintage issues. For instance, the 1983 P and 1983 D quarters are particularly scarce in high grades because no mint sets were issued that year, meaning most coins entered circulation. High-grade examples from those years can sell for hundreds of dollars today. Proof quarters struck at the San Francisco Mint, especially the silver proofs, also command strong collector demand due to their mirror-like surfaces and limited mintages. Now, among modern Washington quarters, some remarkable minting errors stand out as true treasures. One of the most sensational is the 2000p South Carolina quarter struck on a Maryland planchet, which means it was mistakenly struck on a blank intended for another state's design. This coin fetched more than $7,000 at auction. Another incredible rarity is the 2001 P New York quarter double denomination error, where a quarter was accidentally struck over a Roosevelt dime, blending two coins into one. These major minting blunders are extremely rare and highlight how even in an age of advanced machinery, human error and mechanical misalignment can create unique and valuable collectibles. Then there are off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and wrong metal errors, all of which can transform a modern Washington quarter into a highly valuable coin. A dramatic 1999 Connecticut off-center quarter sold for $3,000, while a 2002 Tennessee quarter struck on a nickel planchet reached over $5,000 in auctions. In conclusion, the Washington quarter dollar stands as one of the greatest achievements in U.S. coinage history, a symbol of both America's founding father and the nation's enduring spirit. From silver to clad, from 1932 to today, it has evolved yet remained true to its roots. Rare errors, special mint marks, and limited editions continue to fascinate collectors and inspire new generations to look closer at the change in their pockets. Some of these coins, whether the 1932 D, 1965 silver transitional error, or 2019 W West Point issue, prove that even something as small as a quarter can hold extraordinary value. The next time you hold one, take a moment to appreciate its journey through time and imagine the countless stories it has witnessed over nearly a century. Each Washington quarter is a miniature time capsule, carrying the legacy of George Washington and the artistry of American coinage into the future. Thanks for watching.